All right, we are live here on our YouTube channel. Thanks for everybody that's tuned in. How are you? It's now just Justin and I tonight. You will not get the three of us yet again this week. But Justin and I are going to dive in and chat about what we saw close out in the World Series. We're going to talk about some college football with the Big Ten returning and the NFL and our picks for the week. So, Justin, how you doing, buddy?
Well, you know what? Before we do that, what we really should do is clear the air. Clear the air a bit
By the
on
way,
what happened last week.
tremendous.
Yes, I just bought a 12 pack of that the other day. The chocolate porter. It's the perfect amount of chocolate.
It's so good. It's so
Most
good.
most chocolate ones, it's
It's too
like,
much.
or too little. Like if it's a hint of chocolate, then it's like what even
And the
it
fact that I can tell it's Hershey's chocolate makes it all the better.
slaps. So, let's see. Here we go. Kevin says, y'all free tomorrow night? I say yes. Kevin says 8 Eastern. I say yes. MJ says yes. And then literally 7 hours later, MJ goes, be on in 5. And Kevin says, same. And then MJ says, I'm on. And everyone's like, Justin, what the heck? Where's Justin? I get a million messages. Where's Justin? And then I screenshot the chat and said, you said tomorrow, and knew for sure that I was going to get trashed on that last podcast. It was not my fault. I literally just put my phone on the charger, was doing my own thing, came back.
And I'll blame MJ for that because I didn't even go back to look at the text above. Like I was laying downstairs. Like I was just like chilling downstairs and I see the text beyond in 5 and I like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot. so I made it seem like, yeah, me too. I'll be on in 5.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm just hanging out and get spammed with text. I came back to my phone. I had like 30 messages. I was like, what is happening? So that's that.
That happened. But yeah, MJ couldn't meet us for our scheduled time today, so he will be back next.
Classic MJ, always late.
I was told I'm not allowed to trash him, so
you can do whatever you want. I'm empowering you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice Cardinals hat.
Thanks, buddy.
Cardinals alumni.
Cardinals
Almost won a World Series. That dude's a baller.
Yeah, he really is, dude. Yeah, and we're going to chat about that briefly. But speaking of the World Series, what an interesting finish. For those that hadn't seen it, so we've kind of pulled out of our Facebook operation a bit. It's just not a good platform anymore for this kind of thing. And we're really focusing on our Twitter and Instagram. So if you go on Twitter, you can see all the information. I shared a link to a blog post I put up on our website yesterday about this very game. Whereas, Game 6 of the World Series, it had two components to it that were both bad for different reasons. But the first one I want to hone in on has to do with the game itself. Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, pulled out Blake Snell after 5 1/3 inning of pristine work for any game, let alone a World Series game. 9 strikeouts, only let up his second hit within that inning. Was his second hit of the whole game. And then I don't think he had any walks, but I don't have his stats sheet in front of me. And yet he gets pulled when he lets up that second hit. And the reason behind it was Kevin Cash said, we have the analytics that third time through the order with these guys, Mookie Betts, all these players, that it's going to be difficult for Snell to face them a third time. And there's two problems with that. And I'll let you say your piece on this, Justin. But my thought is, first of all, there is such a thing as the eyeball test. We've allowed analytics and technology to take over the way that we do our sports. It's too much. And this is one of those times. I mean, you have a guy out there who is dealing. I mean, that guy, he's getting people to swing at anything. Balls in the dirt. He's getting people to miss outside. He's attacking the strike zone and they're missing. He is everywhere. 9 strikeouts through 5 1/3 in a World Series must-win game, and you're like, oh no, second hit, let up, gotta take him out. Like that was idiotic to me. And then what it showed later, your brother Jeremy sent us this great video that someone made about how the analytics actually don't even work in favor of this, because all the different numbers point to the fact that Snell is better than most pitchers the third time around in order. Snell doesn't usually have those problems. Mookie Betts is a bad batter his third time around usually. Like, all the analytics pointed to the fact that this was not a good choice, and yet they're saying this is why they did it. And it's just incredibly frustrating because they brought in a guy who has had a bad playoffs. He's let up at least one run in each relief appearance in the playoffs. And he let up 2 runs, and that was the deciding factor. The Rays went to lose, and the Dodgers got crowned as champions. So how bad should this affect Kevin Cash moving forward here?
I think in baseball in general, there's the analytics movement where it's so heavy into analytics. And I think that with any sport, a lot of the time you'll get people that are like managers that are so heavy into the analytics side of everything. And I don't know if you can be successful being fully on the analytics side of everything.
Sure.
We see it in basketball with Daryl Morey going small ball in Houston all the time. Like it's successful to a point. It gets you to a certain point, but then I think there's a lot to be said for some common sense in the, in these late round playoff series where it's like, okay, yes, the analytics might say, even though, like you said, the numbers actually in this case don't actually support even the analytics behind it. But let's just say that the analytics made sense behind it.
Right.
Even still, you back up and you look at it and you say, okay, would I rather my ace who's having a freaking game keep pitching? Am I going to ride him into the ground, or am I going to pull him after five and a third and just, be I don't understand. The thing is, yes, analytics make sense. Obviously, these statistics are the way they are for a reason. But at the same time, if I'm a manager, I'm riding and dying with my best players.
Especially in a clinching game. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, it is a game that you have to win. And a 1-run lead in baseball is nothing. Because at any swing of the bat, that can change. So, I mean, if you have a guy in there that's able to keep one of the best lineups in baseball history at bay, you keep him in the game. I don't understand why you don't do that.
And if he got shelled, or if he, had given up, 3-4 hits in a row before that, where it's like, all right,
right.
If
then
he
lets on
I
the
get
first
it.
2 guys, then maybe I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
But I don't even know if he lets the first 2 on that I pull him yet. Let's see if he can settle down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating. But the other portion of this game, so the Dodgers win. Congrats to the Los Angeles Dodgers, blah, blah, blah. But they go on and win the World Series. And Justin Turner, who is pulled out of the game for testing positive for COVID-19, which is a problem in itself, that they didn't have those details before the game. That's asinine to me. But
baffling.
He gets pulled out of the game nonetheless, and then just comes back to celebrate without a mask. He's kissing his wife. He's sitting next to Dave Roberts, a cancer survivor with a compromised immune system. He's hugging all his teammates. What are you doing? First of all, take away the fact that it's inherently stupid and dangerous. The optics are horrendous. This looks so bad on so many levels. I mean, what was your reaction to seeing that?
Yeah, I mean, I was mind blown when they said that it came out during the game and he had to get pulled off the field. I'm like, how does it happen
at that
during
point? What's
the game?
The point?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you even there's no point in even pulling him from the field. You should know that well before the game. And that was I don't understand how every other sport has figured out a way to get these answers.
Well, and you know what? Baseball was doing so well for a good stretch there. When they had after they got through the Marlins and Cardinals mess, they seemed to have figured it out. And then this, I don't understand what happened. And I also don't understand how Justin Turner got it, because they were bubbled up in Texas. So either they're investigating it, but either he did something that went against protocol or
Right, or someone brought it
weird
in.
happened.
But yeah. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't understand how. And then the fact that they let him back on the field to celebrate with everyone, and like, I understand he's a big part of their team, and
Arguably the biggest, but
yeah,
still.
and it's important to have him out there. But the fact that you let the guy back out, then it's like, well, why did you even take him out to begin with? Then,
Exactly.
like, there's no reason for it. You didn't get the test until midway through the game. You took him out for an hour, and then he's back on the field to celebrate.
Isolated him in a room, and then we're like, all right, you're good.
Yeah.
It's out of your system.
There was a really good tweet from someone that had, what was it? It said, it was a picture of him kissing his wife. It was like a screenshot of it. And the caption that was on the screen at the time was Justin Turner, whatever his stat line was, came out of game 6 early due to testing positive for COVID-19, and he's like open mouth kissing his wife. And they said, this is a perfect depiction of America's response to COVID-19.
It's so true. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah. Like, but it's probably fine. So
yeah, just a weird end to a weird season in baseball. But nonetheless, I will say to those, and I am not a Dodgers fan by any stretch, but I will say to those that are like, oh, it's a fake championship because shortened season. Shut up. Your team didn't win it either. It's baseball. It's competition. Like, stop. That's so stupid.
Yeah. And I think
the one thing
everyone had to deal with the same thing.
Yeah.
So
in every sport, like, what is your?
Yeah. And like all the teams had to deal with the same thing. So if it was so easy, why did your team not win?
To be honest, there were some things that made it more difficult than normal. But the last thing I want to talk about before we close the book on this year's baseball season is Randy Arozarena, the ALCS MVP for the Rays, who had an amazing postseason, was setting records all over the place. Us Cardinals fans know all too well what we lost when we traded him and Jose Martinez for Matthew Liberatore and I think another and catching prospect Edgardo Rodriguez. And at the time of the trade, what's really funny about this is we as fans were more upset about getting rid of Jose Martinez because he was such a solid bat, and we were moving into a DH phase. It was like, oh, we could have used him. And that was because our system, led by President of Baseball Operations John Mozeliak, put Arozarena at not even a top 10 prospect in our system. So we didn't even realize how great this kid could be. And then they trade him away. And now, oh my God, he's next level. He's like Ronald Acuna Jr., next generation talent. And we're just sitting here we just gave him up for maybe a good pitcher. We don't even know how Liberatore is going to turn out yet. Maybe we did okay. I don't know. But what's even crazier about it is look at not even just Randy Arozarena, but Marcell Ozuna, who we let go to the Atlanta Braves, just had his best year of his career playing in Atlanta. What is John Mozeliak doing and not seeing in the front office that Cardinals fans see, that Cardinals reporters see? This man is getting barbecued on Twitter because he's constantly getting rid of top talent and holding on to legacy players like Matt Carpenter, whom I love Matt Carpenter, but the dude hasn't done anything the last 2 seasons. The only people I would say legacy-wise to bring back is Molina and Wainwright, only because Molina's still doing well and Wainwright's still doing well. Other than that, it'd be hard, but I'd say let them walk, But instead, what do? Yesterday or 2 days ago, they let Colton Wong, a Gold Glove second baseman, top 10 free agent now, just walk to save payroll. No, get rid of Carpenter's contract. Save payroll that way. What are you doing? They let him walk, a guy that we need, a guy that I would never want to get rid of right now. And it's just incredibly frustrating. And then he comes out and Mozeliak is quoted, and I'm quoting him now. He says, you know what? I'll own that. That's on me. You need to know your own players. We will revisit how we rank our own players and make sure we don't have something like this happen again. But it does happen a lot. The Cardinals are a proud organization. They have fans that constantly want to see a good product on the field because they've been given that. They've been given a solid program many of the years of their existence. But dude, what are you doing? You have great scouts. You have a good farm system. why are you ranking your players poorly? Why are you just dumping them? And then why are you getting rid of players that you need? It's almost like what's his face in Philly holding on to Utley too long, and Howard and all those guys that stopped producing. But they were part of our World Series team. Yeah, when they were in their prime,
Right.
like you can't just hold on to them because you love them. I mean, and that's coming from a fan that, of course, you love those players. You grew up watching them like succeed, but like, come on, man. At a certain point, you have to just be smart.
Yeah, and I mean, there's something to be said too for a lot of the time you'll see revisionist history in drafting in sports where you're like, how do we pass up on him? Or we got this guy, and this guy was, drafted 2 rounds after the Tom Brady deal where there's however many quarterbacks taken before him, and then you're like, man, we missed on that.
Right.
That's one
Aaron
thing.
Rodgers.
Exactly. That's one thing. When you pick seemingly the right players or end up bringing in seemingly the right players and then let them go, like you actually have had them.
Yeah.
Like many.
Like, are you just not listening to your coaches that are saying, oh no, this dude's a stud. Why are we trading him?
Yeah. It's not like you're not getting studs. You're getting studs and then getting rid of them. Not to mention,
Mozeliak wasn't a player. He wasn't you're the director of baseball operations. You should be listening to your managers, scouts, all of that in making these decisions. Instead, you're just letting these amazing talents walk. And now this basic rookie is the ALCS MVP this year.
Didn't he set a record for home runs?
Home runs in the postseason.
Like,
do you know how many postseasons are in baseball history?
Yeah.
And how hard a record that is to beat?
Like every time he got to the plate, it was like 30% of his hits were home runs.
Baseball's been around since the 1800s. It makes me ill. So I'm wearing this as morning dress today, but it's frustrating. And I'm excited to see what happens in the free agent talks in the coming weeks and months. There's like 20 or so really top names out on the market, including your boy, JT Realmuto, who Philadelphia needs to snatch him up in a hurry if they want to keep him, because he's going to be probably the number one target right now in free agency. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but let's go ahead and move on to college football. Justin, there was an interesting week in football this past week. You and I both enjoyed, since we have a disdain for Penn State football, what occurred to them. So I'm going to start there. The University of Indiana took it to them with a last-second touchdown that Penn State fans are still saying didn't happen. They're fake newsing it, as we say in this day and age. But I want to ask you first, touchdown or no touchdown?
Oh, it crossed the goal line.
I agree.
It did. I mean, and the thing is, maybe not, but they called it. They called it good on the field, so it was hard to overturn. I felt like it was in, though.
I was walking into there's like a huge like Buffalo Wild Wings type sports bar down the street, and after I left the Mizzou game, I was like, I'm going to go pick up like dinner from there and then come home. And I go in, and on the big screen, it was that play that was happening. And I watched it on replay on the big screen. I was like, oh yeah, he got it.
Yeah, I thought it was in. I didn't think it was that big of a question. Then I went on Twitter and I was like,
well, Penn State fans.
I think it was gifted. Like everyone's talking about how it was like a gifted win. I was like,
no, Indiana fought for that. And now they're
one,
17.
it was, if not in, extremely close. Also, you played Indiana and you were close enough that they could win a game.
You allowed Indiana to get a rank now.
Yeah. You didn't beat them by more than like 10, which is ridiculous. So,
yeah, it was a really interesting week seeing the Big Ten come back. Ohio State dominated Nebraska, which was not surprising at all. 52-17 there. Wisconsin crushing Illinois 45-7.
Although Wisconsin's canceled this week because of their COVID.
And one game that looked interesting in the first half, but then Clemson did not want to repeat what happened last year or a couple of years ago. I can't really remember when, but Syracuse was playing really well in that first half and then just kind of fell apart in the second. But Notre Dame dominated Pittsburgh. There were really a lot of blowouts this past week. I got to tell you, man, first time going to a Mizzou football game, that was a ton of fun. Faurot Field is great. The fans were a lot of fun. They spaced everybody out really well. Everybody was actually following the rules, which was pretty nice to see. And it was a great game. Mizzou, crazy stat, time of possession, 45 minutes for the total time of possession. They just kept running the football.
Kept it on the ground.
Previous, they're in a gunslinging match with LSU, And then they're like, nah, we're going to run it this week, which shout out to Larry Roundtree. Excellent game. Passed a Mizzou retired number running back in their all-time rushing list. So that was pretty awesome. Connor Bazelak did enough to win. And Mizzou is one of those sneaky unranked teams right now at the moment. But what stood out to you this week through some of these games? I mean, again, a lot of blowouts.
Just getting stomped on my parlays every time.
Penn
That
State
stands
screwed me.
out. Oh, I never bet on Penn State. I'm afraid.
Not again.
But no, I'm
Although
trying.
I did take the over on Mizzou, and they played a conservative game.
Weeks are all sticking together here. Hold on. It was. I'm trying to think. Well, I know that with Notre Dame, they came off a 12-7 win against Louisville. That was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fact that they only put up 12 in that game, but they looked good against Pittsburgh. I like Ole Miss. They're fun with Lane Kiffin. Just SEC football has been so fun.
It's so fun.
It's
I'm really
great.
glad to be at an SEC
SEC
school.
is
It's so
better
fun.
than every conference by a lot.
It's so fun.
It's really fun.
Even when Missouri gets killed, I'm like, I get to see amazing talent from all across the country.
I'm also interested to see how Ohio State, Penn State goes this weekend.
Me too.
I think it's in the night game. I think it's a 7:30 game, but that'll be fun.
Oh, it's a whiteout game too, I think.
Yeah. I wonder how many people they're letting in there.
Penn State, who knows?
Anyway, they'll find a way. But
sanction.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean it's been an interesting ride here so far with a lot of teams. Notre Dame's ranked so high and I hate it.
Yeah, because we both know that that's not going to work out for us. So
Clemson, November 7th, I think it is.
Yep.
Gonna get spanked.
Yep. It's a very not real number 4.
Oh, did you watch Notre Dame? The pitch jerseys are nice. I love those.
They are
gray.
Yeah,
Ooh,
those are pretty cool.
Those are really cool.
Well, Justin, let's go ahead. I have the top 25. Just there's like maybe 10 or so matchups up. Let's go give our picks for the top 25.
Okay.
Number 16, Kansas State is traveling to Morgantown to play West Virginia. I'm going to take the Wildcats in this one. They've been pretty great, and West Virginia has been blah.
Yeah, I'll go Kansas State as well. They've had a couple huge games, like offensively, as of late. 4-1. I'll take Kansas State.
Here's a fun top 25 team. Number 20, Coastal Carolina going against Georgia State. I'm going to give it to the Chanticleers. I think that's what they're called. I have no idea.
The Chanticleers.
I think that's what they're called.
Is it? I have no idea. I bet on Coastal Carolina last week and they did me well. So I'll pick Coastal Carolina here again. Who did they have last week? Let me go to
Chanticleers.
They played. Oh, that's why. I literally looked at this because I bet this game and I was like, they played Georgia State last week. They played Georgia.
We have some breaking
Southern.
College football news. Trevor Lawrence has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss Saturday's game versus Boston College.
Can he miss the next
Notre Dame game
against Notre Dame? Would be nice.
I mean, I hope he doesn't get sick, but just have it and not.
Maybe like a devastating 2 weeks wouldn't be terrible.
Yikes. Number 5, Georgia versus Kentucky. Kentucky coming off their first loss to Mizzou since 2014. Going with the Bulldogs here.
Yep, these are all chalk Bulldogs for sure.
Yeah. Michigan State and Michigan, usually a close game because of the in-state rivalry, but Michigan State looked real bad when they got housed by Rutgers. So I'm going to go Michigan.
Yeah, it's going to be Michigan there too. Crap. I want to pick an upset at some point, but it's just not looking good this week.
Number 23, Iowa State versus Kansas. Iowa State for sure. They've looked really good this season.
Kansas got absolutely
they got trashed.
Blasted last week.
Yeah, they got trashed.
Was that by? I think it was by
Kansas State. Wasn't it?
Oh, I thought it was by 50. It wasn't. It was by 40. But yeah, right. 41. Yeah, Kansas State spanked them.
I think there was a garbage time touchdown in there.
Yeah.
Memphis versus number 7. Oh, you're obviously going Iowa State though, right?
Yeah, Iowa
Memphis
State.
Is going to face number 7 Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincy here. That could be an upset, though.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Memphis on this one just because I wanted to pick an upset at some point. So
Well, my
Memphis it
upset's
is.
coming next. Boston College with a Trevor Lawrence-less Clemson. Look for the big upset here. Boston College is going to win by 3 points. You heard it here first, folks.
Ew. No, Clemson's
Clemson
still going
gives
to win
up
by
a
3
dud
touchdowns.
every now and again, dude. They give up a dud. And with their star quarterback out, this could be the time they do it. Number 17, Indiana at Rutgers. I'm going to go with Rutgers here, man. I like how Rutgers looked against Michigan State a lot. And Indiana is not a true ranked team, in my opinion.
I'll go Rutgers too. I think Indiana's good for a letdown game here, coming off the high of beating Penn State.
Number 4, Notre Dame versus Georgia Tech. I'm going with our Fighting Irish here. Notre Dame.
I'll go Irish, but I feel like it's going to be close.
Yep, just because they hate us.
Yeah.
Texas at Oklahoma State. Going to go with the Cowboys here.
I feel like I already who did they? Oh, they played Oklahoma. That's why.
That team has dropped a ton of duds.
Texas Tech. Oklahoma State. Let's go Texas. Why not? See what happens.
Number 25, Boise State versus Air Force. I'm going to go Boise State here.
How these teams only played one game in 2 games? Boise's played a game. Yeah. They played 1 game last week. Yeah, Boise.
Mississippi State versus Alabama. I'm going to go Alabama.
Yeah, Mississippi State started off the year beating LSU, and then we figured out LSU isn't that good.
Well, and Mississippi State ruined every parlay ever.
Yep. Yeah, the next week I'm like, they're going to destroy Arkansas. Nope. Oh, they're going to beat Kentucky, bounce back game, score 2 points. Yeah. Oh, well, maybe they'll keep it close with A&M. Nope. So Alabama's going to trounce them.
Ohio State traveling to Happy Valley to face Penn State. I'm going with Ohio State in this game. Even though it's at home, Penn State's going to be reeling after that loss. Plus, they just lost another running back. I think it's going to be tough for them.
Yeah, Ohio State for sure. Justin Fields is ridiculous.
Navy at SMU. You know what? I just said don't bet on a service team.
Don't do it.
And I'm not going to. SMU is going to win this football game.
Yeah, SMU's going to bounce back. They got trounced by Cincinnati last week. I thought they'd at least keep it close. But yeah, they'll beat Navy.
Missouri at number 10, Florida. Florida. Although I do think Missouri keeps it interesting. They're a sneaky team right now.
Maybe.
I got to tell you something. From just watching them a bunch, if they can control the ground game, but also get some of those long passes in, set up the play action more, I think Missouri can be really dangerous with this team. Their defense is solid. But I'm going Florida.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's scoring an average of 43, 44, something like that. They're so good. Offensively.
And playing in the swamp is always hard, even during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Arkansas at number 8, Texas A&M. I'm going to go with A&M here.
Yeah, A&M's been sneaky good this year too. They're due though 10, for who didn't they lose at the beginning? Or no, they didn't lose. They won 17-12 and then got smacked by Bama. Yeah, no, they're good for some losses here at some point, I think. But
the 3-2 Oklahoma Sooners, who are still a top 25 team, versus the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I'm going with the Red Raiders here. Going with this in a really good game. Texas Tech comes out and beats Oklahoma, who has given up some duds this season. I do not like this Oklahoma team, and I just kind of think they're middle of the road at best.
I'm going to go Oklahoma. They score so much. It's going to be a high-scoring game for sure.
Yep. Number 15, North Carolina versus Virginia. Gross, but give me UNC.
Yep, UNC as well. Virginia's getting beat up as of late here.
And finally, Western Kentucky and number 11 BYU. I'm going with the Cougars here.
Ew, Virginia's on a 4-game losing streak. I thought it was 3, but yeah.
Yeah, they're bad.
Ew.
Yeah, they're bad, dude.
Poor Virginia. Yeah, no, the Storm and Mormons are gonna win this one.
All right. Well, let's go ahead then and move into the NFL. Any recap you want to give before we give our picks, or do you want to just dive into the picks? I'm just gonna say, and I
we
don't
can do
care
yours.
what you think. 6-0, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Pittsburgh
you can do your
Steelers
fake
are
news
6-0.
Steelers.
6-0.
Although
Don't care. A win is a win. A win is a win.
if they would have looked the way they looked in the first half the entire game last week,
yeah,
I would have been like, they're legit. The fact that they literally put up 3 in the second half and almost lost that game did like
that's the Steelers' way since Mike Tomlin, baby. We're not going to make it easy.
They should have the guy missed a pretty makeable kick too.
Dude, it reminded me of Vanderjack from 2006.
I said it out loud before he even kicked it. I'm like, missed it. Of course.
Dude, I was like, something weird is probably going to happen here. Yeah, that was great. 6-0 though. Can't take that away from us. 6-0, and we are now the only undefeated team left in the NFL. So, no, I will say this though. On the negative on the Steelers, the secondary has to tighten up. Minkah has to play more consistent. When he's on, no doubt about it.
Yeah, he got torched twice.
He got beat a couple times and made some miscues. But the game before, he looked incredible. So again, he's just got to be consistent with his play. I think getting Mike Hilton back is going to help a lot to add another body back there that's talented. But the way the Steelers are going to win football games is, one, that offense is dynamic because they have so many options. Like, it's crazy how many options Ben has. If James Conner can keep running the football, they're going to do just fine. Defensively, that pass rush is really good, and they need to be constantly getting at quarterbacks to make them make mistakes. Because if you're just relying on giving them time to throw, Pittsburgh can get thrown on. We've seen it. So if they can get at the quarterback, and that's going to be huge in this week against Lamar Jackson. If they can get at him and make him make some mistakes, I like them against a mobile quarterback because they can contain a runner. We saw it with Derrick Henry. I mean, they contained him really well throughout the whole game. So as long as they can do that, I think Pittsburgh can beat anybody. But it's all about those ifs. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, and Tampa Bay stands out to me from this past. I mean, holy crap. They were already amazing on offense, but now you're adding Antonio Brown.
Tom Brady's going to win another Super Bowl. It's going to happen.
If he can keep his wits about him, he'll stay on that team. But if he can't, Bruce Arians will give him the quick boot out of there. I have no doubt about that at all. So, but yeah, you want to go into our picks?
Let's do the picks.
All right, let's do the picks, man. So currently, I don't know what it's still 0-0, I believe, the Falcons and Panthers.
I think I'm 7-6.
Oh, I just didn't
going into the second quarter.
Oh, okay. Yes, 7-6. Well, I was going to go with the Panthers anyway because Atlanta is trash town. So,
I'll go Falcons. They need to bounce back here.
The 6-0 Steelers at the 5-1 Ravens. This is hard for me because this is a game at the beginning of the year that I said we would lose because it's in Baltimore. However, it is still a pandemic. So that really doesn't matter right now. I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to go Pittsburgh here. I think they can contain Lamar Jackson. And I think that alone and being able to stuff the run will make it really difficult for Baltimore. And even though they did add some defensive help, the Steelers, again, have options. And Ben can get the ball off quick and also shrug off some tackles. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. But it'll be close, as always.
I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here.
It's a hard pick.
Yeah. I'll go Ravens just because they're coming off a bye week. They didn't play last week. Get a little rest. Get a little healthy. I guess I'll go Ravens. I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers win. And if the Steelers win this one, there's a chance they don't lose the rest of the season because their schedule is it's been butter and it will be butter for the rest of time.
Yeah, but that's usually bad for us.
You have like Jags, Bengals, Colts, football team. Sorry, I almost said the
yeah,
R
we
word.
picked a really good year to play the NFC East.
Cowboys next week.
We picked a great year to be scheduled to play the NFC East.
Yeah.
Thank God y'all are trash.
That Cowboys game should have been really good.
I know. I was actually really
With Dak,
excited for that one.
That would have been a fun shootout. Yeah.
5-2 Rams at the 3-3 Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins here. I really like the Fins a lot in this. Although, wait a minute. Although
It's Tua and Aaron Donald in Tua's first start.
You know what? You're right. If it was Fitzmagic, I'd go Miami, but it's not. So I'm going to go Rams.
I'm going Rams too. Yeah. I have a bad feeling that Aaron Donald's going to make it a tough first game for him.
The 0-7 Jets and the 6-1 Chiefs. Yeah, Kansas City all day.
Did you see that line or the spread?
19.5.
It's crazy. Yeah, no, Chiefs are gonna trounce them. I don't know if
someone should take the plus 19.5.
Jeremy said he's taking it for sure.
Might as well.
He said he wouldn't give any NFL team 19.5 points because the Chiefs will probably let off the gas. I don't know though.
The Chiefs could start their second offense and win this game.
Yeah. So
1-5 Vikings at the 5-1 Packers. I'm going to go Green Bay here. Kirk Cousins, I can't trust him.
Yeah, it's going to be Green Bay. You're right. I think Dalvin Cook's coming back though for the Vikings, so it should be a half decent game at least.
That's the problem though. The Vikings are such a solidly built team, but their quarterback is trash.
Yeah. The Vikings and the Falcons are very similar in that they have good weapons on offense. They have decent weapons on defense, and then they just lose every game.
Can you imagine having an offense that has Matt Ryan, Todd Gurley, and Julio Jones, and Calvin Ridley, and you're winning one game?
And you're winning one game is just ridiculous.
I don't get it. The 3-3. Oh, I'm sorry. The 4-2 Colts and the 3-3 Lions. Give me Indianapolis here.
I
do think Matty Patty is on a rebound. I don't think it's much of one.
I'll go Lions. They had a good game, good offensive game against the Falcons last week.
Yeah.
Bummed me out. It cost me hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
3-3 Raiders at the 5-2 Browns. Give me Las Vegas in this game. Baker is still inconsistent. He's coming off a big day, but I don't like him.
But this is Baker without Odell. And as we saw,
that's true.
Baker without Odell for some reason is Aaron Rodgers.
If it's a close game, Baker will win. But if Baker's not under pressure,
no, you're right. Raiders have looked really good lately. They beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're the best 3-3 team.
Yeah, I guess not lately technically because they got kind of smacked by the Bucks, but
it's the Bucks.
That's a tough back-to-back. Chiefs then Bucks. Ouch.
Yeah. You going to Oakland?
Going Oak Vegas.
Oak Vegas. The 5-1 Titans at the 1-5-1 Bengals. Tennessee.
I think Tennessee, but I think it could be closer. Joe Burrow's starting to look really hot lately.
Joe Burrow has not been the problem in Cincinnati.
I think he's third in the league in passing yards now.
Yeah. Also, big game for the Seahawks getting Carlos Dunlap. And good for him wanting to get out of Cincinnati and just being like, dude, just trade me. 2-4 Patriots. I love saying that. I'm going to say it again. 2-4 New England Patriots at the 5-2 Buffalo Bills. Give me Buffalo in this game.
Yeah, Buffalo, but I think it's going to be close. Buffalo hasn't looked that great lately. I don't know. They're 5-2, but they beat the Jets.
Allen still looked really nice.
Yeah, they beat the Jets by 8 last week, though.
Every team's going to have a day like that. We had that day against the Eagles.
Josh Allen looked good, but other than that, no one on the team looked good.
2-4 Chargers at the 2-4 Broncos. I'm going to go Chargers here. I'm believing in Justin Herbert a lot more than I believe in Drew Lock, and I like Drew Lock.
Yep, Chargers for sure. Justin Herbert's
he's awesome.
Maybe the best quarterback out of this draft so far.
He's awesome.
Burrow, but both.
Yeah. 4-3 49ers at the 5-1 Seahawks. This has the ability to be a good game, but it won't. Seahawks are going to win.
Yep,
They got embarrassed last week, and that's just as frustrating as it comes, especially for
yet another couple $100. I'm telling you, it was $589 between those two teams.
That he could have won, people, not that he lost.
Yes.
That he could have won.
Literally all I needed was Atlanta to win Atlanta to
I know he looks like a homeless person right
plus
now, but
1.5.
he's not. He still has.
Yeah, but no, so annoying.
By the way, can you update the people on how long that glorious mane is going to stay on now?
I think at least through March now. Is the new number or the new date, I mean.
Oh my god.
But there's a chance it just never goes back. And at that point, we have some decisions to make.
I've known you for over like 20 years and your hair has never been this long.
No. I have it like tucked back here too, behind the hat, so that it's not peeking out, but it's longer than it looks on here too.
4-2 Saints at the 5-2 Bears. Give me the Saints here.
Saints, Bears got embarrassed, although they had a couple of good chances late.
I don't trust Nick Foles on a week-to-week basis.
No, they had a couple really good chances late. Against who did they have last week? It was on the Monday night game. Why am I blanking on this? The Rams, yeah.
Right.
They were down 24-3. They had a good chance to make it 24-17 and didn't. And then I lost actually $100 real on that.
The 2-5 Cowboys at your 2-4-1 Philadelphia Eagles, the Sunday night special. Give me the Eagles here. As much as the NFC East is gross, the Cowboys are decimated in bigger ways, I would say, than Philadelphia.
Bigly.
Philadelphia has the more volume of injuries, but Dallas's injuries are specifically bad.
Yeah.
So
it'll be the Eagles, I think, but it'll be very
gonna
close.
Gonna get that first win.
Would not be surprised if he throws for 300 yards.
I watched him in college, man. He's no joke, but yeah, we'll see. And then Monday night, you're picking the Eagles, though, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. 5-2 Buccaneers and the 1-6 Giants. No contest here. The Bucs will win this game.
Buccaneers. I'm telling you, it wasn't looking good to start the season there, and Tom had a couple of angry little tirades with his team. What I think, didn't the Bears beat them? Yeah. The Bears beat them. So they lost their first game, and the Bears beat them. But they're coming off back-to-back wins against the Packers by a butt ton when the Packers looked like the best team in the NFC, and then the Raiders, who look pretty good. So
yeah,
I think they might be Super Bowl contenders in the NFC.
They
because who the hell else will be?
In the NFC?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
There's no good teams.
All right, Justin, what's your last things last for this week?
Oh, crap.
You never prepped one, did you?
Of course not. Why would
I'll go first while you think.
Got it.
So my last things last this week is this might be the craziest free agent frenzy we've seen in baseball in the last 15 years. The amount of top players that are out on the free agent market is insane. You've got George Springer, who's going to be available. JT Realmuto is going to be available. Trevor Bauer, Marcus Stroman, Marcelo Zuna, Marcus Semien, DJ LeMahieu, Didi Gregorius, Colton Wong. And here are the last 10. I'm going to give you the top 20 here. Jackie Bradley Jr., Michael Brantley, Justin Turner, coming off a World Series win,
And
James
COVID.
Paxton, Andrelton Simmons, Masashiro Tanaka, Kevin Gausman, Haeshuang Kim, Jose
Watch
Quintana, and Taiwan Walker, and Nelson Cruz. There
Whoa.
are a lot, and that's not even all the players that might go to free. Like Molina might end up on that list. Adam Wainwright might end up on that list. People that haven't finished their like talks before the free agent window opens. I mean, it can be the Wild West out here if people just taking. You're going to see a lot of new uniforms on some players.
And baseball free agency is fun because of no salary cap, so
Yeah.
it's just like
it is the
whatever
Wild
team
West.
feels like spending money on as many.
And during
of
a
those
pandemic,
guys.
I mean, the Cardinals have been hit so hard, and that's why they had to start dumping salary to make room for some pieces. But there are other teams that have been hit that way as well, but some have not. And those teams can really pounce and be like, "Ha ha, we got the money. We're going to get these guys." But again, I do believe the Phillies have to make an offer soon to Realmuto, or he's not going to be in the red and white next season. I do believe the Astros are going to let George Springer go. I I think, and honestly, I think that's a good idea for Springer. Separate yourself from that organization a bit because you're still a really good player. I do believe that Molina and Wainwright will re-sign as Cardinals. I think they're going to get their deals because they realize they're not going to break the bank during a pandemic, and they're going to get what they get for their age. But other than that, I think the doors are open for some craziness during the winter meetings and everything. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's gonna be fun.
Like it. And mine is baseball as well.
Wow.
Just happy the Dodgers finally got one. Clayton Kershaw deserved it.
Yeah, and you and I have trashed him plenty.
Yes.
And his team for not giving him run support over the years.
I mean, it doesn't hurt to add. Didn't they made NLCS last year?
Yeah, but you added Mookie Betts.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't hurt to add Mookie Betts to a team that almost made the World Series last year.
A team that beat you in the World Series. Like,
yeah,
he beat you with Boston.
So, I mean, definitely that doesn't hurt. It's probably not all Kershaw, but I'm just happy that Kershaw got one.
Yeah.
I'm interested though to see. I wonder how this playoff run with no fans or limited fans because Tampa Bay had a couple there, didn't they?
Yeah.
But
because it was all at Globe Life Field in Texas, and they allowed a certain amount of fans in.
Right.
For
games. But I mean, I'm interested to see if that was something where is Clayton Kershaw, is he just a head case where it gets in his head with full stadium full of people freaking out during a big game?
Right.
And this one was a little bit more tame, or is it the fact that he had run support and a good reliable batter in Mookie Betts for the first time in his career that, although, yeah, Mookie just gets on. Oh, I love Mookie Betts.
He's incredible, man. He's such a dynamic player. But yeah, so next week, same time, we will be here talking sports, hopefully with the whole
maybe all three of us. Yeah. MJ. Like 8:30 work? Yep, it works. And then at like 8:20, can we do 9? You would have just been starting.
Friends, take a look at our website. Justin's going to add a blog post on there pretty soon. I'm going to have some stuff to write as well. Again, check our Twitter and Instagram for all the updates. Please spread the word so we can get some more followers on our social media pages so that y'all can start being more involved in the conversation. This has been a great episode. Thanks.